Okay. Okay, guys, I'd go live again in a second. I had this chucked up in the tools. Got the tools all switched around and got it all ready. Okay. Let's get started. Tammy and I used to watch the other people turning resin on the lathe to make bowls and stuff out of, and I think urns or something. And Tammy always used to really like watching them and said, "Oh, that's that forbidden mozzarella." And you know what? It does look like. I told her Parmesan a minute ago, and she said, "No, it's mozzarella."
I wouldn't recommend eating though.
Yeah, that's why it's forbidden.
That's why it's forbidden.
Trying to take too big of a bite out of it. Clean the blade a little bit. I'm not using a regular bit. I'm using the cutting when you wanna cut round stock. I'm using that bit instead because it faces the what will now be the brake drum. It faces that. Clean it again. It's not that it dulls it, and it's not that I need to see it either, but you guys need to see it. Yeah, when I get rolling here, that's really going to be flying. Okay. But yes, I just cast that wheel. Not even, that's about a half hour ago now, but boy, that stuff kicks off. So it was fully liquid form. That stuff is so fast. Well, I could have got that out of there, I think. I think I can see a little bit better. I'll watch. I'll run it right into the tripod, knowing my luck today. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. All right, that's out of the way. You probably see that better. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, setting up the lathe takes a few minutes. Yeah, Tammy and we used to watch guys turning those big bowls and stuff with resin. Used to watch it all the time on YouTube for the last several years, and it's like, well, why don't I do that? What do they call that? Satisfying videos?
Yeah, ASMR.
ASMR.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was big. I could have turned this down too. I don't need it quite well. I'm a lot more hyper than that. I could turn it way up. I could turn it way high. But I'm hyper. I'm just not that hyper. There we go. Yeah, I kept thinking, well, why didn't I cook that up? Well, because I was supposed to run that drill bit into it first. When I get it down to the diameter I want, I'll groove it. I could get my mic out and everything else. Yeah, hold on, I'll do that. Got a few of them. Some of them are better than others. I would imagine I got a long ways to go. Yeah. Yep, got quite a ways to go. Amy's forbidden mozzarella. Check one more time.
Joey's Hobby Shop says good morning.
Good morning, Joey. How are you doing on a wonderful Sunday morning?
He says you have a nice lathe set up.
Well, thank you. I got it in 2000.
He says he's blessed. That's wonderful.
Bless this one. That's very good. That's the best. That's the best anybody can be on a wonderful day like today. There's two offs. Like if I just hit just that, then it shuts it off. That's forward and reverse. And then when the light is on, that way in case it grabs a hold of, like I always had long hair that was down past my butt. If that gets caught up in it, then you'd have to turn it off immediately. But
Joey asks, benchtop mini?
benchtop, the
lathe.
lathe doing benchtop.
Is that a benchtop mini?
Oh yes, benchtop mini. It was 14-inch long, and it's 7-inch high of work that I can put on that I can chuck into it, and it's got other chuck teeth that. Let me spin this a little bit. It's got other chuck teeth to have even bigger material, but 7 inches is the tallest I can run on it. And 14-inch, it seems kind of small when I have the drill set up on it. It's big, heavy cast iron, but the drill, that takes up like nearly all my space. I'd like to add to this bed if I could. It was a mini engine lathe, and then they call it the swing over bed. Let's see, I do want to kind of face this, but that looks like it's in too far. My chuck key, which you never want to start it up. I like to turn that off to do it. You never want to start it up with the chuck key in it. I get so impatient that I've never done that though. But
Joey says those are nice. I like how you have the quick change. Nice tailstock for drilling.
yeah, this one here, I've got the other bit set up for inside my aluminum. Let me see if I can find my aluminum. Here they are. I turn my aluminum for my rims. I turn the inside diameter with this bit here. I run it on reverse, and I cut off of this side here, one closest to me, in reverse. That way, it's a lot more precise than trying to look at that side as it's turning, because I don't I don't really see the diameter that well. But here's all the chunks I have left of that. And here's what I turned my pulleys out of that stock there. So that's nice to have that size. Here's the live center that came with that lathe back then. And here was the original tool post, which it doesn't put it right in the center. These have a rocker on them to where you can put them right in the exact center. What else do I got here? Tool sets. All sorts of stuff I ran into. Oh, these will be the jaws. They'll go the opposite way. It'll have the big side out, so you can like put something round on it and then do it to the outside. That's what's in that box. There's all sorts of really neat toys. After having it so many years, I suppose I could have used that. I used to run these in high school back in the 80s.
Good old 80s.
80s. That's too wobbly. You got to really chuck them nice. Those little tires for the front. Because if it doesn't spin true, boy, that's so close. Boy, that's so close. I'm going to call that good. That's what I'll do.
Don't call your big hair age, dude.
Don't tell the big hair age?
Julie says, don't call your big hair age, dude.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, I'm going to be 55 here in
About
a month from now. I sure don't want that. There's an Allen wrench head that's off to the side on this. But when I face this, the small wheel, because I did that other one just a little bit ago, that it gets real close to the chuck teeth. I don't want that to hit. I've made miniature cannons, 31 caliber cannons, stuff like that work really well. They do really good.
Julie says she just turned 18 34 years ago. Yeah.
I'm terrible at math.
Great.
But I love the way you worded that, Joey, because we gotta have our special ways of saying our age without really saying our age when we get to be this age. This tool.
You're younger than me.
Oh, you did the math.
Yeah.
I want to turn this off to the side. Okay. Now go at it at just a slight angle.
Yes, definitely, Joey. Gotta be clever.
Yeah, he's very, very clever. These are done. Oh, how you doing, Ron? Good to see you here this morning. Well, thank you. Okay. Well, don't get in any trouble. Oh.
Have a blessed day, Ron.
Let's see, I gotta keep this one off here. Let me put it here. No. Should have got a chair, maybe. I sure don't want to get that into the chuck teeth. Well, let's see how close I am to.
All this forbidden mozzarella.
Is making you hungry?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a pizza for lunch in a couple hours.
Oh, I got your mozzarella for you.
No thanks.
I didn't pay any attention how much farther I got to go.
Joey says he looked at those benchtop lathes at
Yeah,
Harbor
Harbor
Freight.
Freight. That's where I got this.
Almost grabbed one. I still might.
They have ones that are bigger. This one here was, I think, 302,000. 340, something like that. And my then wife went and got it from Harbor Freight, which was past Peoria when we lived in Utica. So I'm thinking she went about 3-4 hours away to go get it, but it was during a blizzard in 2000. So that kind of makes the lathe almost priceless at that point. I couldn't imagine what shipping would be on it. This thing is all cast iron, and I'm a big, strong guy. I've lifted 2 cars from the front end before, and one was a Porsche 914-4, so it had a Volkswagen mid-engine, so, but it still had a pretty full gas tank in it. And I've lifted that stuff, but carrying this up the stairs, it's so heavy. I wouldn't have thought it being that heavy with as small as it is. Oh, I forgot to measure it. Measure it. Yeah, that's exactly where I wanted it. Exactly. So we're done with that.
Slow ride model cars. Those lathes are so nice. And then Joey's Hobby Shop says 14 inches is great overhang for a mini lathe.
Yes. For any of the stuff I needed for it, like those I made little cannon barrels. One barrel I think was about that long, and drilling it was really tough. To get the drill bit, I had to keep changing the drill bits. It had this length was an inconvenient size for that particular cannon. Getting the wheels for it back then in 2000, that was the hardest part because eBay wasn't quite as big as it is at that time as it is now. So I finally did get the wheels for that. What do we got? We got this. Got to switch over to 1/8 inch. And I drill them for the axle. I think the drill chuck is backwards, I'm thinking, than a regular drill. And I've got the meat of my hand, I've got caught right in those teeth before on that, and that makes that really nice. Not. My glasses keep sliding. I'm sweating. And there we go. You want it forward. There we go. Ouch. It was a biter. Now I can go all the way through these, and then it puts it perfect right in the hub. Make sure that's out of the way for you guys. I can't really tell. Yeah. But that's how I drilled these. I just chucked them, and I didn't go all the way through, but I think I did on some of them back ones. But yeah, I can make up a batch of these. These are my favorite wheels. My favorite for the rear wheels and tire setup. Yeah, my favorite front. So I can keep making these, I guess. So I can put them on all my models, and it wouldn't hurt my feelings any. Oh, Chuck.
Bless you, Alfred.
Back.
Yes. Are you making just the backs?
No, I'm making one front and one back. I had the other two for that model I'm working on. With my mold, I just make one at a time, but each one you can do in a half hour. It kicks off, and I could demold it in a half hour. So that's super fast. Super fast turnover. So I just started on this model yesterday. Oh, I got something.
Says this is more fun than 3D printing.
Yeah, 3D printing. I think you just type it into CAD and just walk away and you're all done.
That's too technical for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to program computer games. That was a little wobbly. I don't like that. Just a hair, but I don't know which one is off. Sometimes chucking it takes a little bit of time. That's kind of why I turned off the... Oh, that's really bad. I guessed the wrong... Out of the 3 jaws, I guessed the wrong one. Oh, that's even worse. Let's see if I can find it. No. Yeah, right there. Pull this out. But how far? You know, that's half the fun is playing guessing games. Wrong one again.
Showing a great close-up of your big tattoo on your arm.
Is it with all the mozzarella on it?
Yeah.
Wow, that's about as close as I'm going to be able to get, I think. So with all the sweat, the weight of these glasses are rolling right off.
Joe says, if you get a minute,
Yeah.
check Lathe custom out.
Okay.
It is amazing on the lathe. I could watch his work for hours.
Yeah, I haven't, with as long as I've had this lathe, I had it in storage for 10 years, and I haven't really messed with it. I messed with it a lot when I first got it. And just lately, I've told Tammy that it's a good idea to start doing a lot more stuff on here, like for blower belts and then everything else. I mean, why not? I have it. Might as well use it. Yeah, see, I didn't go through the hub, but I have on a few of these that I've made. But when I do that, oh yeah, this one, that one's all the way through. So I guess I should go through. I don't have to, but what I like to do then is paint the axle. Paint the axle red. There, chuck it in further. See what's in there. Yeah, that's dead on. Ralphie's, I'll have to check him out and see what he does.
Custom built motorcycle.
On a full-size bikes, or is it just the scale stuff? Yeah, because I should have been using this for years.
You were inspiring me to buy one now. So thanks. Now I have to throw my body to get the money.
Oh, I'm going to get you in trouble, Joey. That's what's going to happen. I wrote you almost a novel earlier, and I didn't really pay any attention. I'm like, oh man.
He says yes, full size.
Full size, okay. Yeah, there it is. It turned out right in the middle, which is exactly.
Yeah. Bad influence, he says.
Very bad influence. So here's those. Now just paint them up and glue them on that model, and then do the brake lines for these nice brake hubs.
Thanks, Joey. He says that looks awesome.
Doesn't that look sharp compared to what it was and what it was going to be? Anything else I would have had to probably try to take a hacksaw and cut them off, or, you know. Here's the model, Joey, that I started yesterday. Kind of a 1962 dragster that I wanted to Wanted to use old type of decals that were really yellow. The white on them were yellow, but then the white ones, I used the airbrush then and did this color over the top of everything to kind of fade it back because they really stood out. And Tammy loved it like it was, but want to get more detail, the more better. But this is the stock right there that I started with for the little pulleys. And I was able to do their snouts and everything to get them the right distance away from the engine block. And then these I use guitar string, not quite the biggest guitar string, like the next one down. But now to do all the brakes, I'm going to have to use a real thin, non-wound guitar string. I wish my son would send me all his instead of just throwing them away. He changes them like I change underwear. He changes guitar strings. I said, well, just save them for me. Put them in a baggie or something. But that's how that one's turning out. It was a screw bottom, a toy from the 60s, and it didn't have a front end for it. So I decided to cut the hood. Out and make something like my zombie rat out of it. And I bench mixed my olive drab, so it's kind of more green than what it should have been. It should have had more brown in it. But I'm kind of happy with the way it's turning out.
I think it's going to look super neat.
I think that will look kind of neat.
Joey says, I see feet kicking around in a cat.
Yes.
I'm the owner of the feet. And Zoe is our kitty. She likes sleeping on that rug.
Yeah, she's got her cat bed. I don't think... Yeah, you can't even see the cat bed, I think, because this is in the way. So there's a cat bed there with the toys and everything in it. And she normally sleeps in there, but she also sleeps on the other one. Babies. A neighbor was throwing that away about 10 years ago. And I thought, well, that's a shame for that to go into the garbage. Okay, guys, I'm all done with turning those and painting, hand painting the tires is really boring. So I'm not going to bother anybody with any of that stuff. But okay, well, it's good to have you here, Joey. And I'm glad I met you. And I'll talk to you guys later. Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.